So in this video, I'll be talking about my recommendation on how to get into cybersecurity, some of the tricks that I used along the way, as well as what I would, how I would tackle this if I were to start over again from like a college, someone going into college or a college age student. Because I know a number of you guys that view my videos aspire to get into this field, and you're coming in at a really great time. As I'm sure you're aware, we talk about that a lot on this channel, but not a week goes by when there isn't just piles and piles of security news, like the latest breaches and stuff that happened. That's kind of why I happen to have this background come up. I have them rotating out every 5 minutes, but I thought this was pretty fitting. The road, your journey to cybersecurity. So what's up, guys? This is Ryan from Elevate Cyber. We're going to get right into this topic here today on how you can get into cybersecurity from, someone that's going into college or maybe someone that's already in college. Now, first of all, let me say this is not the only path. There's many paths to get here. This is one of my recommendations. I would say nowadays, and this might be slightly unpopular opinion, but nowadays there's only a select few people that I would even recommend to go to college. Reason being is not all degree programs are created equal, and tuition is crazy. Like, it's almost theft, basically. Let's be honest here. Some kids go out of, leave college with just mountains and mountains of debt and a degree that isn't going to get them very far. Now, fortunately for us, as people that are in cybersecurity, pursuing cybersecurity, you normally have a lot of really solid options, right? The only people that I would recommend to go to college are if you're pursuing what I call STEM, or I didn't coin this really, but what people call STEM, which is an acronym that stands for sciences, technology, engineering, mathematics, right? So if your degree program falls in any of those general areas, general fields, then college is actually pretty lucrative, pretty worth it. Other than that, I'd be hard pressed to recommend anyone to actually attend a traditional four-year college. Now, with cybersecurity, we fall along the lines of technology, I guess you could say. So, you could also get into cybersecurity going through computer science, which you could argue in some colleges that might be in the sciences, but yeah, mostly in the technology category. But yeah, if I was a college student today, just to get down to brass tacks here, it kind of depends on where you go to school. Here's where you got to do your research, right? Because one thing that you have to concern yourself with, if you want to go the more direct route, which is to major in cybersecurity or some cybersecurity related degree just right off the bat, right? This is basically what I did. I went to Penn State, right? What you want to do is you want to do your due diligence as far as researching that degree program in cybersecurity that your school offers. Because the reason I say this, there's been many sort of fraudulent scam cybersecurity degree programs out there. And especially if you're going to a smaller school, you really need to make sure that it is a reputable program. And this comes down to just, looking online, looking for some reviews, looking at what other people had to say about it. Maybe if you have access to, someone that graduated with that degree from that school, see like where they are now, or they have a job in the field, or something related like that. How was it for them getting a job after they graduated? A lot of the information you can find online. And then, for me at Penn State, right, the degree program was certified by the NSA, the government agency, the NSA. So that automatically, that right off the bat gave it a lot of I guess you would say, a good reputation, right? And I had done my research on it. I had roommates that were going for that degree, and they knew some people that graduated from that, got jobs. I heard of people that got pretty good jobs, whether it be government or in the private sector as well. And so, I mean, I didn't actually even start as in the cybersecurity, the security and risk analysis is what my degree program was called. So that's another thing, right? It might not be called cybersecurity. It might be called something else like security and risk analysis in my case, which was a blend of, your pen testing type of security and also the risk analysis side, disaster recovery, and, evaluating risk and all that type of stuff as well. So, be on the lookout for stuff like that. You got to do your kind of due diligence, researching this stuff, basically. And then within the greater major of security and risk analysis, I was able to specialize in information cybersecurity, which basically was more of like the technical hands-on pen testing type of side of it, because that is where I wanted to go. But I actually did not start out in that degree. I started out as electrical engineering, and I didn't change my major until my senior year. Now, fortunately for me, it only took me one extra year, but nonetheless, it did take me some extra time. I never thought I would go down this career path, to be honest with you. But I ended up finding out about it, really struck my interest, and I never looked back. It was a great decision, I would definitely have to say. But back to the topic at hand here, do your due diligence, do your research. That's the first process. Now, if you are, maybe in high school and you're looking at colleges, then you have maybe a bit more of an advantage here. If you know for sure you want to do cybersecurity, research what schools, in your area or whatever. Because I would recommend, if you can, if you're in a state that has some decent schools, try to stay in state. I know it might be cool and flashy to go out of state to colleges, like I did to Penn State, coming from Tennessee, actually. But I would never recommend that for anyone. It's basically double tuition for me. So that took me, that was a while before I paid it off. Now, fortunately, I don't have any student debt or anything anymore. But yeah, that was kind of scary, right? I definitely know people that are going to be paying their student debt from Penn State for the, let's just say, unforeseeable future. So definitely resist the temptation to go out of state. There's really no reason. You're basically paying double the price for like no added benefit, really. It doesn't make any sense. But I was just some 17-year-old when I picked college. I wish someone would have told me this stuff. I definitely didn't know. But yeah, you're in a bit of an advantageous position, I would say, then. In that case, you can research schools in your area and see what schools in your state have like the best cybersecurity program, right? And then you can prioritize trying to get into that school, right? And you can work your way that way, right? Now, once you get in, you probably, try to find a 4-year degree if possible. I mean, I know of some people doing 2-year degrees. I can't really speak for that. I'm not sure how valuable that is, an associate's degree, but it is an option if that's all you got, and you're sure you want to go down this path. But yeah, preferably 4 years, like bachelor degree, and just keep in mind you very well might not get into security right off of graduation, right? You might get put into an IT role, as I did with backup and recovery. Talked about that on this channel before. Worked on that IT operations side for only about a year and a half. That was about it. And then I went right over to security. But that's not always necessarily going to be the case. I had a friend that after he graduated, he went straight into a red team position, actually. So it really depends. But be willing to accept, just because you right off the gate didn't get a security role, definitely don't take that down. Keep your options open to like an IT operations role as your first job, or a computer science degree as your first job. Not computer science degree, but a programming role as your first job, because from these positions, typically it's really easy to make a lateral move. And in my case, my boss, he knew that my degree was in security. I wanted to go to security. Fortunately for me, he had a little bit of a history with the security team in the company, so he was able to get me an interview with the director of the security team within the pen test team, the greater security team for the pen test role. He was able to do that for me about a year and a half down the line. And yeah, it was that simple. Just made a lateral movement. There's a lot of opportunities like that in companies. So just something to keep in mind. If you're in college, don't worry about the certifications right off the bat. Now, another thing I will say is that you might be in the situation that, none of the schools in your state have a decent cybersecurity program. That's not a deal breaker. That's fine. What I would say in that case is to go ahead and major in computer science, or if there's some kind of IT related degree. One that comes to mind that I've seen a lot is MIS, Management Information Systems, I believe it is. I know a lot of people that got into IT with that. And then from there, a couple years there, and you can make a lateral movement if you do your due diligence and start pursuing the security stuff, right? But either way, good to have your eye on it now. Get ahead early. Watch my channel, watch other channels. Get your feet wet into the CTFs, and really learning this skill set. It's definitely good to learn, and it's not a waste of time at all whatsoever. Even if you're only in college, it will pay off for you for certain. So this video, like I said, was more targeted towards college students, but in the future, I'm going to be, coming at it from other angles, the people that they're already, beyond the college years, but they want to get into this field. Because I know there's a lot of you guys out there as well, and I have some content planned for that in the near future. As well, I'll make some more videos on how to optimize your resume for getting in here, and even some LinkedIn tricks and stuff like that I've found pretty helpful, that I actually used to get a higher paying job within my industry last year, actually. But if you guys have been enjoying this content so far, be sure to hit the like button. Definitely helps me out in the algorithms, gets the message out there. And subscribe as well for more content, and I will see you guys in the next video.